Today, I'm having a tea break with a Thai Minister of Social Development and Human Security who has a fluent British accent and dedicated himself to fieldwork during his time in the position as a Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, Mr. Top Varawut Silpa Archa. And here I am, right here I'm in a massive room and sitting on a couch, not so comfy, in a room of a Minister of Social Development and Human Security. Right now, he's sitting next to me. คุณท็อป วราวุฒิ ศิลปะอาชา สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
It's been a while since we met last time.
Last time we met on the stage.
So a great honor to be here, sitting with you and do the interview in English.
Indeed.
Okay.
Pleasure's all mine.
I'm pretty sure you might have seen so many challenging.
A lot
Right.
of issues on social
And
development.
you have mentions on the UN stage.
We call it 5 by 5.
5 by 5. Let's turn the Thai
Yeah.
strategy.
Yes.
So what it is exactly?
Well, Thailand is now an aged society. We have a lot of older people.
Not aging, but
Not
aged.
aging.
Aged
We've
the
gone
society
past
already.
the aging part. We are the aged society. The final stage is the super aged society. And now, in order to try to combat us moving forward into a super aged society, we need to counterbalance the amount of old people with the number of newborn babies. Our population would be halved. I mean, at the moment, we have about 66 million. It's going to go down to about 33, 32 million in about 50 or 60 years' time. We need a few tactics. We need a strategy, and we call that strategy 5 by 5, let's turn the tide. This policy deals with 5 pillars. The first one, we need to cope with the working age group people like you.
Okay.
We need to make sure that the working age group people, basically the Gen Y, have the security, have the ability to form a family and raise his own family, look after his own family, and then have babies eventually.
Okay.
We need to empower them, make sure that they are up to date, make sure that they have the ability to create a fulfilling family. The second pillar deals directly with youth and children. We have a smaller and smaller amount of children. We need to make sure that they are of quality. We don't need a quantity, but we need to make sure that with the small amount of babies and kids that we have, we need to give them good education. We need to make sure that they are developed both physically and mentally. The third pillar deals with older people. Not just looking after the children, but we need to look at the other end of the spectrum. We need to take care of the older people. We need to make sure that we keep them active, their physical and their mental. It would continues.
Okay.
Human being, if
They
you
can still contribute to the society.
Exactly, they become a productive member of society. They can earn their living as well. So instead of just relying on government welfare, they're actually contributing something to the country. And then the fourth pillar deals with people with disabilities. Having dealt with them for quite a while, I realized that there are so many and so much untapped capacities in them. We need to make sure that we upskill, we empower them. With the innovation of technologies that come out nowadays, the boundaries between disabled and enabled is getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
Okay.
So nowadays, you can be on a wheelchair, and you can still fixing something long distance, a remote controlling a robot using technologies. So now it's just like trying to train a superhero to use his power. And the fifth pillar deals with the whole ecosystem. We need to create a community. If I have a family, if I have a kid or kids, they will be looked after. They would have enough welfare, they would have quality education, they will grow up in a community where it is safe and sound. I don't need to worry about drugs. They will not have to grow up in a car because of such a bad traffic condition, etc., etc. So to create a community and an ecosystem where the newer generation can flourish and live a fulfilling family. In each pillar, there are 5 tactics, and hence it's 5 by 5.
Oh, that's right, 5 by 5.
5 by 5, let's turn the tide. Turn the tide, it means now the tide is going one way. i.e. towards an aged society and a super aged society. We have to turn it back into a younger society. It requires a tremendous amount of effort. Every single ministry needs to chip in. When I went to talk at the UN, it has been blessed by the cabinet approval, and hence I was able to speak it on the international stage. So it is official.
Well, in order to make it real, make it happen, implementation, so which one in those pillars that you consider the most difficult to do so?
All 5 of them needs to be implemented at the same time. For example, at the moment, when we talk about people with disabilities, I've asked our permanent secretary to sign an MOU with 6 universities around the country. Well, there's a fund for people with disabilities under our purview. Use this money to support the universities, and the university will recruit a group of people with disabilities, 50 or 60 of them, in cooperation with the local businesses, where the local businesses will tell the universities what kind of skills they need, not what kind of people, because I want people with disabilities to be hired, to be employed because of their ability, not because of their disabilities. People with disabilities hate this word. Don't do this for me because of the good deeds. I'm not dead yet. That's what they said. They still have abilities. So when the business sector, private sector, tell the universities and the institutions that I need this, and this skills, the universities will start recruiting people with disabilities and train them, upskilling them, reskilling them, and it will take about 6 to 8 months. By the end of it, over half of the people that join the course will be employed. This is a pilot project, and in a few months' time, we will see it's being productive. And once that is done, I will sign an MOU with the Ministry of Education and also Ministry of Higher Education and utilize the whole network of universities, polytechnics, and as well as vocational education institutes, which there are thousands of them around the country.
Okay.
That means 50,000 or 100,000 people a year can be skilled, can be trained. We are going to face a big problem of lack of labor or manpower to work.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, old people nowadays, well, we classify it as 60 up.
Yes.
But look at people at 60 nowadays. They are
They look young.
They
They're
look
strong.
young. They are fit physically and mentally. Look at the civil servants, for example, when they retire. You know, the longer they retire, the younger they look because they don't have the burden, they don't have the headaches anymore. As of now, some of the branches of government service, for example, the judicial system, has already extended to about 70. Some countries in Europe already has a retirement age of 63. It's not just one go, you know, like not today 60 and tomorrow 63. They're going to push it from 60 to 61 to 62 to 63, kind of
Little by
gradual
little?
change. Yes, a small step at a time.
Yeah, speaking of European countries, you've been traveling around, so you might have some model that Thailand can do as they do and successfully complete.
So, for example, Switzerland has this concept of time bank. For example, like if you're 20s or 30, you can do a community service. You go and help older people. Let's say a grandma next door is injured and she needs someone looking after her, or take her to a doctor for whatever. You can volunteer, and every time you go and help her, your time will be logged. As in, if you help her for 3 hours a week, a day, for example, and you do it like 5 days a week, so you have 15 hours in your account.
Okay.
And later on in your life, when you are older, or you don't have to be old even, when you're injured, let's say, and you need someone to look after you, you go and withdraw those 15 hours, and someone will come and help you.
Okay, so I can use that collectible point.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I help other first.
Exactly.
And then one day there will be some to come to help me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is called a time bank concept where, in Switzerland, it's getting more and more popular because when you're old, you're alone, you don't have anyone. And, you know, the younger generation say, oh, okay, if I do something good now, it's like a good karma, really. You help someone today and eventually someone will come and help you. And it is a very noble concept, and we are trying to implement some of that, try to implement it in some of the areas in Thailand. It is working in a small community, but when it gets to a larger community, then it's a bit more challenging.
You used to be in the COP meeting, in the big conference of the world about environment.
Yes.
And up until now, what are the concrete actions that we have done so far to improve or to do as we commit at the world stage?
We talked about SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. Thailand is doing well compared to our neighboring countries in ASEAN. We are one of the top countries in ASEAN that's implementing SDG in all targets. But if we look at overall global process, human race is not doing well in SDGs. Hunger, poverty eradication, gender equality.
Yeah.
Well, gender equality, Thailand has been doing pretty well actually. When I was in New York a couple of weeks ago, a minister from a Latin America country asked me, said, is it true that Thailand is introducing a law like a same-sex marriage? I said, yes. So basically, whatever we're doing in Thailand, the whole world is watching. We are setting a stage for the world to move with us. I mean, of course, some people would complain that, oh, Thailand this, Thailand that, blah, 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 blah. But actually, on the global stage, we're not doing too bad. Coming back to our ministry, when we're talking about older people and people with disabilities, we've done quite a progress. We are introducing like a caretaker and make that into a job, a paid job, not just a volunteer job.
Okay.
And that project has started. You get paid 10,000 baht a month to become an older people caretaker. At the other end of the spectrum, when we deal with children and youth, we are trying to reduce the age because the minimum age where a kid can be admitted to the childcare is about 3 years old. The law only allows 98 days of maternal leave. A woman can ask for a maternity leave for 98 days. So that's about 3 months.
Yes.
The question is, what happens on day 99? So I have tried to reduce the age down from three years old down to about 3 months. You know, at day 99, you can leave your baby in the care center and then go to work comfortably, having the peace of mind that your baby is being looked after.
Okay.
One thing I realized is that when we are trying to improve or introduce new concept like this, it actually takes time.
Okay, there's a lot more to do and there's a lot more to work with.
A lot.
Yeah, but if you have to pick one between children, elder, and disabilities, so which one raises your concern the most?
I would raise a question about children.
Children.
Because they are our future.
Yeah.
And we are in short supply of them. We need to make sure that they are of the highest quality. Now, today there are
Are they?
No, not yet. That's why I said we need to make sure that they are of the highest quality. That's why I said all ministries needs to be involved. For example, Minister of Tourism and Sports. You know, a child needs to play sports, really. I've got 3 kids. I'm a father of 3. All 3 of them play sports. My daughter is a national team figure skater, and my 2 sons play hockey, ice hockey. By make sure that they are committed to sports, it actually teaches them quite a few things. You train for the whole year, and then you lose. Life is not fair.
Yeah.
You know, train them to accept loss, disappointment.
So can I ask that which chair exactly that you prefer the most right now and the previous one? Which ministry that you'd like to be involved
I
more?
must say each ministry has different angles to it. The fun of it is not when I'm actually sitting in each of them, is when I combine the knowledge, when I integrate the knowledge for example, transportation and climate change and human security. For example, in this ministry, I was the only person who can really link climate change and vulnerable groups of people. When I first raised this, people said, what's the connection? But then when I explained to them, it's like a hallelujah. It's kind of bing, it just comes up.
So you can be at any chair, at any position at all.
Oh yeah, it's a challenge part.
Okay.
It's a challenge
Clever
part.
answer.
Yes.
Seems like you are improving every day.
One needs to learn something new every day.
Okay, then do you aim for any higher position in the political fields or
Higher?
which ministry that you would prefer to be sitting inside the most?
Well, you have to have a lot of seats in the house for that. Well, I've got 10 at the moment. By this time, I'm confident that it doesn't matter where I end up. I can really drive that organization. I can really input valuable information into the system and make sure that people in that ministry or in the organization are alerted about it.
Okay.
And so really I have no preference really. I'm pretty happy here where I am. And let's see what happens in the next reshuffle of the cabinet.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Wait and see.
Yes.
And you are a son of ex-Prime Minister of Thailand,
Yes.
Mr. Banhan Silpa.
Yes.
So tell me the truth. Tell the audience the truth. Have you ever dreamed of being a Prime Minister?
Being a prime minister is not easy.
I know.
So I think I'm actually more proud of the fact that I'm the son of a prime minister. I don't want to be a prime minister.
Really? Not ever dreamed of?
Not really, because prime minister comes, prime minister goes. But the son of a prime minister come, but we don't go, because I'm always be the son of my father.
Yeah, no one can take that title
No
from
one
you.
can take that title away from me, and I'm the only son.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty proud of that. And if one day, my destiny is whatever it will be. Come what may, I will be ready for the work that's ahead of me.
Okay.
I'm not really worried about the work part. It's the politics part that's I'm not so good at.
Yes, as you said, so you only have 10 seats.
Unfortunately.
So do you have any plan, any strategy to make it more?
Of course
To
I do.
become like a medium-sized party again for Chat Thai Pathana party?
We do. We try to recruit newer generations, younger generations coming in. I'll probably use this opportunity to convey my message through our viewers, was that whoever's interested in working, with Chat Thai Pathana or even with me, really,
Okay.
don't be afraid of the older generations, because when we work, there is no baby boomer, there's no Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. It's just people who want to work. Thailand got to this stage because of the older generations, but we need to go forward with the newer generations. If you're interested, I'll be more than happy to accommodate anyone.
Okay.
And I'd be willing to, work alongside the newer generations as well. And, I dream of becoming a medium-sized party again, but that comes at, a lot of hard work, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can recruit all the new people, the new young generations
Please
throughout
do.
our show.
Please do come.
Okay.
Please join us.
You have anything to say to the young generations
Well,
in particular?
This ministry relies a lot on the newer generations. We need the vision, we need the imagination, we need the willpower, we need the energy of the newer generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and you are our hope. You are our light at the end of the tunnel. So let's work together and make sure that Thailand gets to where we want to go. Well, life is like what Forrest Gump said, really. Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get next. Sometimes it's a rainy day, sometimes it's a sunny day. But make sure that whatever you do, you give it 100%. So 5 years from now, you turn around and look back at it, you wouldn't be sorry for what you have done.
So what it takes to be a good leader in this era, when everything can be dramatic so easily?
Well, to be a good leader, you need to be a better follower. To be a good speaker, you need to listen more. To lead all the people, I think you need to be at the bottom of the pit, really, and listen to everyone. You have to be a leader and a very, very good follower at the same time.
Well, that's brilliant advice. And last but not least, this is the questions of our show.
Okay.
So to consider everything that's happening right now in our world or even in Thailand, so is the biggest issue that you think is about time to talk?
I think there are so much conflict in our world. There's so much polarization in our world. But on the other hand, Mother Nature is throwing a big problem at us. El Niños, La Niñas, and it makes our differences, our arguments, our polarization, it's like a storm in a teacup. So I think if mankind wants to move forward and survive into the next century, we really need to look at ourselves and how we are going to combat or handle what Mother Nature is throwing at us instead of fighting with one another. So I think our survival, what Mother Nature is throwing at us, floods, droughts, extreme temperatures, it's going to affect all of us.
So stop making conflicts to each other.
And start working together in moving forward.
Okay, because Mother Nature has been warning us for quite a while.
Oh, she's been knocking on our doors for quite a while. Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure's
I
mine.
appreciate the precious time that you're giving me and giving our show. And thank you so much. Until next time, you minister.
Indeed.
ขอบพระคุณมากค
ข
รั
อบบ คุณครับ
And this is one of the wisest minister that I have ever do the interview with. And I think you will learn more from him. Until next time, let's see who will be on this show in the next episode of A Time to Talk.